Okay, we're just going to give it a minute as we wait for folks to join this webinar. Okay, I think we can get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar on how to optimize input costs and provide science-based recommendations. My name is Sarah Bassiri, and I am the Global Head of Marketing at BioMakers. I am joined today by my colleague Joy Joachim, one of our experienced agronomists who works with our clients and our BCAs to help them review their BeCrop results and unlock their soil health potential. Joy, can you give us a quick overview about yourself and what you do at BioMakers?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Joy. I'm sure I've met some of you, and for those of you that I haven't met, looking forward to chatting. I'm an agronomist here at BioMakers, so that means I explain reports. We do report deliveries, talk to a lot of different clients and growers about their needs, deliver trial results, and help find solutions and give you data for the answers you're seeking to answer, the questions you're seeking to answer.
Amazing. Thank you, Joy. Well, Joy and I will spend some time today to go through BeCrop Technology reports and get some insights into some of the questions Joy often gets asked by clients and help us get a better sense of what we offer to growers, advisors, retailers, and manufacturers with our BeCrop technology. Before we get started, I wanted to run through some housekeeping items. First and foremost, this session is being recorded and a recording will be provided to you within 24 hours. We'll send you an email. We have also dedicated some time at the end of this webinar to answer your questions. Unfortunately, this platform does not allow for us to unmute microphones. So use the question pane during this webinar. You don't have to wait until the end. Add all your questions, comments in there, and we'll be sure to get to them. We've dedicated about 20 minutes at the end. And if we don't have enough time to get to your questions, we'll be sure to get back to you through email. Now, our plan is to hold these BCA webinars at least once a month. So if you guys have any sort of topics you want us to cover, suggestions for future webinars, or even if you want to be featured and want to speak at one of these webinars, please also add that in the question panel, and we'll be sure to take a note of that. So as for the agenda, this webinar is designed for those who are currently either enrolled or certified as a BCA. But if you don't fall under any of those categories, you will have a chance to learn more, obviously, about the program, and you can join the community and get a free certification. We'll make sure that we'll provide information about the program in the follow-up email as well. And you can also visit our website and learn more about what it has to offer. So during this webinar, we'll discuss the benefits of being a BCA, overview of the various services offered by us, by our advisors, and what we offer to advisors, and the available digital tools as well, and how BeCrop can help you in the field with any R&D projects, and as well as what we now do to certify lands. And again, we've dedicated the last 20 minutes or so at the end of this webinar to get to your questions. Now, just to tell you a little bit about us and our technology. Over the last 8 years, we have developed the world's largest database of taxonomic references, which is currently at 14 million, and it's continuing to grow. This robust technology has been the missing puzzle in agriculture, and it helps decode soil microbiome and provides intelligence into soil health. The BeCrop technology has been utilized in 45+ countries. We have analyzed over 170 crops. We have served over 2,000 customers across the globe, and we have influenced over 500,000 hectares of land implementing biological soil analysis. We have 2 labs that we own ourselves. One's in California and the other is in Spain. We also license our technology to labs across the world, and specifically Region Ag Lab, which most of you may be familiar with in the US, who are providing biological soil sampling and analysis to customers. So As you all know, BeCrop is setting the standard for soil health, and we wanted to provide access to this great technology by providing free education and certification to passionate advisors and agronomists such as yourselves. And we are forming partnerships with some of the world's best organizations who are helping us elevate this great initiative. Today, we're proud to announce that just over a year, we have over 1,500 advisors who are enrolled in the program, and we so far have 300 graduates. And as I mentioned, this program is completely free, and with just a couple of hours of online training, one can become certified and they can use all the benefits of BeCrop technology along with all the amazing tools that we'll share with you guys shortly. Some of the benefits of becoming a BCA, first and foremost, you'll have access to training into our BeCrop technology. We'll also provide training into soil biology. You will have exclusive client management tools like the BeCrop Project Planner that I'll walk over shortly. Educational resources, there's community support, not just by biome makers, but BeCrop advisors as well. We recently also announced office hours with our agronomists. So if you guys are interested and you enroll in the program, you get to meet with Joy, who you're meeting today, as well as some of our other agronomists, to ask them any questions about BeCrop technology or just communicate with other BCAs who are perhaps facing similar issues or wins as yourself and talk about soil health. As an advisor, you'll have access to everything you will need to make science-based recommendations and design sustainable land management projects. So under this amazing BeCrop technology, we offer 3 different types of solutions. And Joy, I'm hoping you can walk us through how our solutions work, how they're utilized by the agriculture community.
Yes, I can. So we offer BeCrop Test, BeCrop Trials, and BeCrop Rate. So these are 3 different products, and they all, their deliverables are all a little bit different. When you do a BeCrop test with us, we're providing you information that comes from our global soil database. So from all the samples that we have tested, we are letting you know your soil health, and we talk about functionality. So we're testing lots of different categories that we'll go over later in the webinar, but the advantage of working with us is that we're able to provide you functionality data based on the microbes that we sequence from your soil sample. Then a step forward with that is if you do a trial with us, so you may be interested in testing a biological input product, a soil amendment, and we will test the efficacy of your product, the mode of action, looking at the effects it has on different soil groups and functionality in different metrics. So we can talk about product efficacy, and if you're doing if you're looking at comparing different products as well against each other, we can show you the data of how they're performing. And BeCrop Rate is a sustainability assessment, so we'll look at the different management practices that are being applied to an area and deliver on microbial ecology, what we see happening and how the management is affecting the soil in the area.
Amazing, thank you for that. Now, obviously, you know, a lot of advisors learn about these solutions, but they're not sure how to get started. You know, it gets a little complicated. Like, how many samples do we actually need in order to analyze a client's farm? What do we need to create invoices to send to our customers? We basically decided, instead of having you guys to continuously communicate with BioMaker's team, is create a tool for you that, again, completely free for you to use. You can even play around in this tool and get into the sandbox version of the tool to learn how you can plan a project, how you can create invoices, and from there be able to track your projects and then get to the amazing tools like the reports, comparisons, everything else that comes with it. So in order to show you how this works, I'm just going to give you a very quick demo of this platform. Once you become an advisor, you'll get a username and password to enter into the project planner. And this project planner, again, was designed to help you plan your projects without having very little knowledge of how each of these solutions are planned out. Again, this is a sandbox version. Once you get in, you'll have access to all your proposals, and this is where you get to see them. So if you're a first-time user, obviously this screen will be empty, and you'll basically get started with a new proposal. And under the new proposals, you have access to trials, you have access to the BeCrop rate, and you have access to the BeCrop test, just like Joy just walked us through to the 3 different solutions. If you're under BeCrop trials, it basically walks you through everything that you need in order to create a very professional proposal in just under a minute. So you basically create a client ID, your client's name, your project leaders, your product specialist, if you have one that you're working with at Biome Makers. You'll create a proposal name, so you can name your proposals whatever you like it to be, whether it be the client name or your product name, the type of samples you're looking at. We also offer a physiochemical report if you're interested alongside the biological report. You can also select that. And then you can look at the different locations that you will be testing, the type of products that you like to create, and then your start date and the replicas for your trials. It will then give you sort of the requirements that are needed before and after testing. And then it will basically give you a currency that you'd like to charge the client under, and you'll basically submit. So this is a very quick overview of how BeCrop trials work. If you're looking at BeCrop tests, you'll go sort of through a similar thing at the beginning where you enter in your information on the general tab, and then you get into the areas that you're looking to test. So you select your area, you select the sample type, so the type of crop that you're working with. You enter in the area that you're currently testing, what type of yield you're looking at, whether it be high, low, or medium, and the type of management. And this is not a required field, but you can enter that in if you'd like. And then this is, again, designed in a way for you to understand what you're actually looking to get out of this, out of the test that you're going to be running. So if you are looking at perhaps crop yield, recommendations for increasing your production, whether it be crop diseases or crop management, we again created this portal in a way to get you to think about the project you're looking to run, but as well as bring you or present you with the results that you're actually looking for. So if it's just yield or if it's just disease, the results that you'll get will focus on those and will be a lot easier for you to then review those results with your clients, review those results with your company. And once that's done, it will create it all for you, and then you press enter, and it basically takes you to a summary section, and you will then be able to see your project in the proposal view. And here you can then see the proposal, the state that it's at, whether it's pending with your clients or if you've submitted to Biome Makers. We will then let you know if it's done and if it's completed, what type of project you're running, when the start date is. And here you can download your proposal if you like, you can edit your proposal. You can also, if you're a consultant, you can modify your proposal by adding a percentage for your consulting fees. So we have added that in there, as well as a lot of consultants did want to add a small consulting fee to their proposals before they send it out to their clients. So once you've gone through this, this is the project planner. We do have a webinar on this that provides a lot more detail, but if you're also interested in getting a full demo of this, we're more than happy to set up a meeting with you, with Joy, with one of our agronomists to learn more. And once you're completed this, you will then have access to our BeCrop tracking. So this is when the proposal has been fully submitted. I'm just going to turn off the closed caption. And you are then ready to start tracking your projects through the BeCrop portal. This tool keeps track of when the samples have been shipped, either if you've shipped it or your clients have shipped it, you'll have access to that. It will also show you when our lab has received the samples. If there are any issues or delays when analyzing the data, we'll be able to communicate with you through this portal, so you don't have to wait for us to email you. You'll get notifications right away. And then this tool basically helps you track your projects and provides you with full control, and most importantly, transparency to communicate with your clients. Again, in order to use this tool, in order to get into the tracking portion of this tool, you would have to go through the project planner, which is what I just ran with you guys, to ensure we have everything that we need, and then we can tell you what's on track, if there's an action required. And once it's completed, then you'll have access to the amazing reports portal, where you can have full analysis of your reports, interactive maps where your samples were taken. You will be able to compare different fields if that's the sort of trial you're running, and be able to print these reports to share them with your clients, print them to share them with your teammates, or just use the portal itself and share your screen and walk over the different types of actions you can take on their portals. I'm going to have Joy actually walk us through what the reports portal looks like, because I believe this is probably the most effective way of being able to analyze your data and understand your data and be able to communicate it, and obviously take all the actions that's required in order to get to a place you'd like to get to. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Joy, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you access to present your screen.
Let's see.
I think you should have access now.
Yes. Okay. Can you see all right?
And hasn't popped up yet. Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, everyone. So you have received your test results from us. You are interested in analyzing them and seeing what you can do. So I'm going to show you some demo samples here. You'll receive a login to our portal, and your image will show up here in your account. I'm in our demo account here, so all of these samples are anonymized, but I'm going to show you a few different tools for data comparison and explain them, and happy to take any questions here at the end. So here, there's a few different boxes. For the tools we'll look at today, we'll go to the toolbox. And this raw rank BoxPlot tool, that's Gus and I's favorite tool, so I'll show it to you first. So here you have some potato samples. We have 10 samples. If you are interested in comparing samples, we cluster them. That's the benefit of this tool. So what we'll do is group them. So you have these. We'll put the first 5 samples in our untreated group, and we'll label them. And we'll put the next 5 samples in our treated group, and we'll label those. It's important to label so that you remember on the next page here which group was which. You can name them whatever you like. And here, if you know the samples by code, sometimes it's easier to see the code, sometimes it's easier to see the name, just so you know that you have this option. If this is a configuration you're going to look at a few times, you can press the save button here and it'll remain available here in our load saved configurations. And it is useful for the second tool I'll show you as well. But for now, we'll click compare. It will take a second to load because it's a lot of data, so just be patient. But here we are. So on the left here, you see the changes from the untreated to the treated. So these are the top 5 decreases, and on the right, you're seeing what's higher in the treated group. So first, you know, what are these units? What are we looking at? BCS stands for BeCrop score, and that's on an index from 0 to 100. So you can think of it like a percent. And we can see the difference between these two groups. We had you can think about like 17% higher gibberellin production in the treated group. So if you were testing a management practice here or a product that claimed to increase gibberellin, you can see that difference. The same is true for the rest of these indices. I'll go ahead and click into the gibberellin here. Here you can see the p-value. So if you're interested in the statistical significance of these groups, the more samples you have in each cluster, the higher statistical significance we can be looking at in these changes. Especially if you're doing a management project with us or a trial, we take those samples in triplicate so we can be sure of really what we're looking at. But this chart, while it can look a little overwhelming at first, you have your min here and your max. When you hover over the small arrows here, it'll give you the sample code so you know exactly what you're looking at, which ones were higher, which ones were lower. The circle's your average. And you can really see here. Also, if you need to report this information to your clients, you have this chart available for your use as well. But here we're looking at this relative change between the clusters. To go back, you can click variation ranking here. If you go home, you'll go all the way back to the home page. So you might be interested, this is just your general overall, how did things do? You might be interested in, let's see, if you want to see the difference in your micros and your macronutrients. So here we can see that we have higher organic phosphorus assimilation in the treated group, etc. So this is this tool and how to use it. If you have a question, feel free to keep it and I'll refer to the tool, but I'll show you another tool next. So let's say you are interested in exploring, you have a particular microbe you were looking for in your study, and with this tool we're not comparing different clusters, but we can look in each soil sample for a particular microbe and explore. So you do have this at your disposal on the right. If you're interested in arbuscular versus exomycorrhizal fungi, you can just click those groups and see what appears. So this is very color-coded. We're looking at yeast and fungus. But let's say for this first sample here, for the agata, we're looking for trichoderma. We want to know how so here we have one, Trichoderma asperellum, and we can see let me bring it up one more time. It'll be highlighted for you, so pretty small, but you can play around. This tool's pretty interactive. Hover and it'll give you the name and the relative abundance there in percent in the sample. And it's really good for just having a visual of what was available in the sample. So this one, pretty self-explanatory. The last tool I'll show you, and then we can go through a report, Sarah, if we have time.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is another tool where you can build clusters. This parses a little bit less data, so you have the option to build 3 clusters. But here we can actually, let's say that we're looking at the same, we want to look at the same group we looked at before. I saved it, so it'll be here in your load save configurations. It's already labeled for you, and we can compare those samples. So here again, let's say we are looking, we'll do trichoderma again just for ease. So you can compare at the genus and the species level. You will have more data at the genus level if that's your interest. But here you can see in more detail the different groups, and you can see if you have outliers, what's really here on the end, and the difference in your averages when you're looking at specific microbes. So those are some tools. Those aren't all the tools, there are more, but these are really our top 3. And now I will go over one of these potato reports with you all. Okay, so this, let me see. Let me, Sarah, can I minimize this? Give me 1 second.
Sure.
One moment. If we have any questions now about those tools, I could take them while I pull up this report. Just so people don't forget.
We have a question about if we could search for strains.
So we do PCR amplicon sequencing, which we can go to the species level, but not the strain level. So with our current technology, no, that's not an option, unfortunately. Good question, though.
And I have another question here, but I don't know if we should answer this at the end. What fungi to bacteria ratio should one aim for in tree crops like avocado and citrus? Should we leave this for the end?
I could just answer now while I'm pulling this up. When we talk about fungi to bacterial ratios, we like to see them balanced. It's difficult to give a direct ratio without knowing soil type and also without knowing the area, but we like to see them as balanced as possible. And often it's really hard to get a direct one-to-one, but we aim for that. So let me show preview. Okay, here we are. All right, so sorry, I needed to get this in the right format. All right, so this is a demo potato sample. We show you the total number of species that we're able to sequence from the soil. We do show this fungal to bacterial ratio, and we show if we could get arbuscular to ectomycorrhizal fungi. We'll show you if they're detected and then what the ratio is. We have a summary here. I'm not sure why these colors typically follow this legend. I'm not sure why in this sample they're showing up gray, but you'll see them here as we go through the report. So we deliver information on soil quality, biodiversity, functionality, resilience. So all of the microbes that we're sequencing from the sample, we're telling you how different they are, how many different functions they can perform, and their resilience to stress. And we go into detail with all of these through the report. So first, we'll tell you the diseases that we were able to detect from the soil sample, and then your risk level for them. We will show you all of the diseases that we were looking for, and then we'll show you your fungicide agents, insecticide agents. So these are microbes that are able to act as defense for these different diseases, and we'll show you those populations and how strong they are or how weak they are. In this sample, we see high insecticide agents, high nematicide agents. You might be wondering, what does high mean? What does medium mean? So we deliver this information in quintiles. So here, a high sample falls between 60 to 80th percentile from all the soil samples in our database. That's how to interpret this information. Moving forward, we'll look at hormone production. So these are plant growth regulating hormones, really help with yield. So if that's a group you're interested in monitoring, we provide data on these hormones, and so we're looking at microbes that are able to perform these functions. And here we see a medium for auxin and cytokinin and high for gibberellin, which is really good. We'll also look at stress adaptation. So on the right here, we have more hormones, ACC deaminase, salicylic acid, abscisic acid. And on the left, we're looking at different secondary metabolites like exopolysaccharide production, resistance to uptaking heavy metals, salt tolerance, and siderophore production. Next on the report are your macronutrients. So this is an area that with soil testing, we're usually much more familiar with. We have carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, but here we're really breaking down the pathways and looking at our gain and loss pathways for these different macronutrients. So we'll look at carbon fixation, we look at microbes that might be contributing to carbon loss through fermentation, methanogenesis, aerobic respiration, which is just part of the carbon cycle. And we'll look at microbes that are aiding in organic matter release. For nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, we're looking at release or solubilization, and also looking at nutrient competition. So those are microbes that also need nitrogen for their activities and functions, phosphorus and potassium, and how they could be competing with the sources that are then available to the plant. And lastly, in our report, we deliver on minor compounds. So these are microbes that are able to help produce and carry these micronutrients to the plant as well. And that's it. You can do a BeCrop Plus report with us, and we'll also offer you the chemical data that can be really compared side by side with these macronutrients and micronutrients, and really have a holistic view of what's going on in your soil sample. So I'll keep this up in case there are any specific questions on the report, and pass it back to you, Sarah.
Amazing. Thank you, Joy. This was a great overview. We had some questions regarding pricing and how BeCrop Tests is priced at, and if there are any sort of benefits for BCAs. I'm just going to run over some of the other benefits that we have here.
Okay.
I'm going to change the presentation myself. And again, I know there are a couple of questions that came in and about the reports, and obviously it's a small screen that we're sharing, so we may not be able to see all the details on the screen. A recording will be sent to you guys right after this webinar, but if you want to get a full overview of these reports and get a live demo, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to spend some time with you. I know there's a couple of questions that came in regarding product development and how we can use BeCrop trials. We'll be more than happy to just dedicate some time to speak with you one-on-one and answer all of your questions. And BeCrop test, one test is $199. That's just for anyone that wants to give it a try. You can go on our website and purchase a test. But obviously, through becoming a BeCrop advisor, we want to make sure that we're offering some incentives to you guys to be able to offer this great technology to your customers. So there are some discounts that are offered to folks who just want to try it out and purchasing a sample kit, to those who use it a lot more regularly and be able to take some percentages off the tests. We did get a question as whether or not trials will cost the same as a test. That would be really dependent on what type of trial you're trying to run. And I'll give Joy a little bit of time to maybe walk us through how trials work exactly and how they're different from tests, and why there would be a price difference, because it wouldn't make sense for us to charge you, a cost per test. It would be more of a trial project basis. So, through becoming an advisor, our hope is by you guys learning more about BeCrop technology and soil health, you'll be able to offer the test, as well as unlock a lot of different benefits that comes with becoming a BCA. We've built a really great community through LinkedIn. We now have, actually this number should be updated, we have 25,000 followers on LinkedIn. We're growing, and we want to make sure that we share that growth with all of you guys. So once you become a BCA, we're more than happy to promote you and your certification on our LinkedIn profile with our followers. We do broadcasts and podcasts like this, as well as a lot of great webinars. We attend a lot of events. We would love to have you guys share your experience with our viewers, and be also get some exposure through all the great stuff that we do, whether in person or virtually. There are different sort of marketing materials that we can send your way, brochures, any other information that you need besides just becoming a certified BCA, along with obviously exclusive pricing. So there's tons and tons of tools that you can use once you become certified. There's the Learning Center. There's a BCA community that you can go post, learn more about other advisors, and communicate through there. We share upcoming events. We actually have an in-person event that's coming up, I believe, in October. We'll share some more information about that with you guys, so you can come and meet other BCAs in person. Like I said, we do have office hours now with our advisors once a month, or actually it's every other week, Joy? Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely we'll send you information. You can register for those, or just show up on the hours that our amazing agronomists will be online to ask them any questions or have them walk you through anything. And obviously we want you to share your success with all the other advisors who are part of the program, so you have a community of people that you can join and talk to listen to podcasts. There's also a portal where you can get your own demo if you're not interested in meeting with us or want to do this on your own time. You can definitely utilize the demo portal, and obviously tons and tons of other features that are available on the BCA portal. You get access to that once you register, and you get your information from our team. You can join in and basically check out all the different tools that we have available for you there, give you all the training you need, answer any questions you have before you actually get in and start planning your projects. So in terms of going back to the question that we got regarding trials and how they're different from tests, Joy, would you mind walking us through what that is and maybe giving us some examples that we work with, maybe retailers, manufacturers, or just advisors?
For sure. When we do a trial, it's different from a test. We ask for 3 replicate samples per group. So we'll do an untreated group and a treated group, and we'll look at them at different time points. So there are a lot of different ways to conduct a trial. You might be testing different application rates. So we might have a group that's untreated, a group with a low application rate, medium application rate, high application rate, and then we can test the where our returns are coming from, where maybe we can see, oh, between medium and high, there's not much difference. We would go with the medium application rate and see the effects on different groups that we went over in the report, whether this product is claiming to enhance yield or be more of like a fertilizer product. We see how it's affecting the microbial community. That's one example. You could be testing different products that you have and seeing which one is more effective at completing your goals or performing better. And another way to do trials, we also have management projects. You could be interested in testing different areas. Let's say that you have soil or a parcel of land that is producing really well, has high yield, and one that has lower yield, and you're interested in finding out why. We can do management projects which are similar to trials, but we're not trialing a product. We'll trial a different management practice, or just know that these areas are different. Or we can look at things like disease, if there's high disease or low disease, etc.
Amazing. We have a question if we can analyze soil samples from outside of the US. Yes, we definitely can. We, so far, I believe, have tested or worked across 45 plus countries. We have a lab in the US and we have a lab in Spain. We also have partners across the world. So no matter where you are, we'll be able to analyze your soil samples. Just get in touch with us and we'll let you know which lab you can be working with where you can send your samples to. But yes, as long as I know, Joy, we don't restrict based on country.
No.
Amazing. And another question came in, do you offer different analysis services between your labs in California and the one in Spain, Europe? We do not differentiate analysis. You basically get access to exactly what Joy just shared with you in terms of the tools, the analysis that you get. So it's all the same. There is no differentiation between the two or any of our labs across the world. Sorry, Mike, unfortunately, the question pane that we get on this platform is extremely small, so I have to minimize and increase my screen. What is the outcome of your tool? I see colors showing quantitative information and I don't see qualitative information. Is that available in the report in order to be able to make data-driven decisions?
That's a great question. So with our reports, we do report deliveries, myself and our other agronomist on the team, Gus. So we'll go over the results with you. And with any information that you provide, we're able to create a holistic picture about what's going on. But this is the report at this time. We do have a BeCrop guide that helps in report interpretation. So reading it and pairing it with your results should answer a lot of questions. And if there are any more, we're always available by email or phone call.
Amazing. There's a question about how fast can one get their results. How long does it take from the moment they sample their soil?
So we should, after soil sampled, it should arrive to the lab between 3 to 5 days. If it needs to be longer than that, we recommend freezing the sample or at least having it in the fridge, sending it on ice. Those are things we can talk about when it's time to send in the sample. But once we receive it after sampling between the 3 to 5 days, our lab turnaround time is usually around 2 weeks. If it's not, we will advise you before if we have a big influx of samples, but typically our turnaround time is between 14 days.
Question came in, chemical analysis, is that also done by the same lab?
We do not perform chemical analysis. We have partner labs that will provide the fertility, or we have Haney tests and Malick tests. That's usually what we offer. If you need other analyses, we don't restrict that, but typically with the BeCrop Plus clients, you're either choosing to add Haney or Malick.
Yeah, and when you're creating your proposals on the BeCrop Planner, you can also request by just clicking a quick button that you want the chemical side as well, and we'll be able to definitely help. Do you offer a soil collection kit with sample bags and instructions for sampling, shipping? How can I get one?
Yes, we do. When you place your order, we will mail them to you, and you'll have the test tubes to send back to us.
What do you see in the concentration of the soil? Do you see the Fusarium? There's a lot more other words that's included in this question that I will probably not pronounce correctly.
Sarah, can I see them?
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you through Slack. Okay. That would be the best way, guys. The joy of having different communication tools in front of us.
Can you see Pythium fusarium? Yes. And if there's any microbe that you're interested in seeing before working with us, you can ask us and we can assure you that it's in our database. But yes, we do have all of those that you sent over. Specifically with a trial, if you're working with a different biostimulant product and you're interested in seeing its effect on that microbe, that's something we can monitor as well. So, and if for disease, if there's a crop where we're looking at a different disease, all we need to do is check that we have it, and we'll let you know.
Amazing. Another person have asked, can we have access to the complete list of microorganisms found in the sample?
Yes.
Amazing. There's a couple more questions about sampling, and we're more than happy to share everything with you guys after this meeting. I just want to make sure that I cover the variety of questions that are coming in. Do we provide recommendations?
Do we provide recommendations? We don't provide recommendations. You know, the recommendations can mean a few things. We won't tell you to buy a product or which management practice to choose. If you were talking about soil health and asking questions about what the report entails, we'll explain as much as possible. But at this time, we're not making product-based recommendations or management-based recommendations.
Biomakers does remain a partner to manufacturers and retailers, folks who are developing products, but we want to remain as someone who provides the technology for everyone to develop the right products for their soil and to utilize the right products by analyzing what that product does in their field. But we do want to remain just as a partner and not someone who becomes, I guess, a recommendation arm. We want to make sure we remain neutral and we basically present you with all the data that you need to make the right recommendations or apply the right products to your farm. Another question that came in, what time of year should the samples be taken?
The time of year depends entirely on your research question. If you're interested in seeing your soil health before planting, you would send them before you seed. If you're interested in maybe you tried cover crops for the first time and you want to see how they affected your soil. We take a sample before and after. So it truly depends on your goals and the information that you're seeking.
Amazing. Sorry, I'm just going through all the different questions and trying to categorize.
Thank you for
and again, there are a lot of questions that are coming in about how to sample. We actually do have a couple of videos that we're releasing on the BeCrop portal. Once you join as a BCA, there is tons of different information about how to sample, where to take samples from, when to take samples. So we can share all that information with you. And again, we're more than happy to schedule some time and speak with you if we don't answer any of your questions through all the great content that we have also created. Someone has asked, do I need to be a certified BeCrop advisor in order to use BeCrop? Absolutely not. BeCrop Advisory Program is just a free certification where you learn about soil health and soil biology and what BeCrop technology does. And it's for folks who are interested in utilizing BeCrop either across their own fields or working with clients, and they want to become an expert and sort of an extension to the Biomakers team. But you do not need to become an advisor. You can definitely use BeCrop technology, and you can utilize our team to be able to analyze your data and understand your data. So feel free to obviously learn more about the BeCrop technology by becoming certified, but there's absolutely no requirement for you to become an advisor. We have a couple of more questions about recommendations. Again, I think that would be something we'll definitely provide more information on in terms of what you gain out of the test in order to be able to come to the real results that you're looking for, to be able to analyze and apply again what you're looking to apply in your field. Oh, this is an interesting question. Are there info on what inputs can destroy or eliminate your microbes, such as herbicides or fertilizers?
When you conduct a trial with us, we can look at the effects that different herbicides or fertilizers are having in the soil and how they are affecting the microbial communities, especially microbes that are performing a specific function, like especially for fertilizers, we see how they affect the macronutrient groups in the gain and loss pathways that I showed before. So yes, however, I think it's important to note we don't share anyone else's data. So it would have to be a soil that you bring to us, and then we would conduct a trial on fertilizer and herbicide that you're using. So we can monitor those effects over time, certainly.
Amazing. I'm just going to put a quick link into the BeCrop advisory program. I know I'm getting a lot of questions, and this is very exciting as folks are asking, how do I become an advisor? We'll definitely send you an email after this meeting with the recording of this webinar and include a link, but I just put it into the chat. I'm hoping that you guys can all see it. It's just a link to our BeCrop advisor page. On there, you can learn more. You can register right away if you don't want to wait for the email. And obviously, one of our team members will get back to you right away. When can we get a copy of today's slides? You'll definitely receive it within the next 24 hours. I think we have covered most of the questions here. Again, we're going to group a lot of these questions that are very similar and provide answers to all of these. If we didn't get to a specific question, I apologize if I missed it. I'm going to actually put my own email into this chat. Feel free to get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to reply to your email as soon as I receive it, or have Joy or one of our other agronomists to definitely get in touch with you. So please feel free to email me. I do apologize if we didn't get to your questions. And again, thank you so much for joining this webinar. We hope that it was informative. If you want us to include other topics or do a deeper dive into any parts that were maybe too quick during this session, let us know. We're always looking for your recommendations on what you'd like to learn about. And please reach out to me if you're interested in joining our webinar as a speaker. We have tons of webinars that you can find on our website that we have had other growers, agronomists, retailers, manufacturers who have all joined us in our webinars, as well as really great universities and nonprofit organizations. So definitely check those out as well. But don't be shy, reach out. And if you're interested in joining us on our webinar, we would love to have you. Joy, thank you for taking time on your Tuesday afternoon to join us on this webinar and sharing great insights with us. And we hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you all. Thank you, Joy.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye for now.